Hi. So today, I just wanted to have a quick conversation with you in relation to how to use ChatGPT. In particular, I'm using the paid version and I'm using the ChatGPT 4 to shoot this video for you. Now, everyone's talking about ChatGPT and what it can do and how amazing it can be. And everyone's talking about the power of prompts. Well, yes and no. I do agree that the prompts are important, but I think what's more important is how we actually take that prompt and utilize it in order to allow us to ask questions which are better suited to get the outcomes we're looking for. Let me give you an example. So, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go together, I'm going to work on a simple prompt that I've already written up, and I'll read it out to you so you can get an idea what it's about. Okay, so I'm just going to paste it in here. So I'm a business owner. My name is Chris, and my business is called Southwest Drainage Solutions. I'm based in Florida, and I'd like to generate some client personas in relation to my business and our products. Now, why would we do this? Because we want to try and get an idea what sort of clients we are going to go and target and look after. Now, on top of this, we're going to use this information for future content generation. So we're setting the groundwork for a better quality output in the future on this particular prompt. Okay. Our business provides our clients with drainage services such as block drainage removal, digging of ditches and canals, basic excavation work, and related plumbing services. But we're not a certified plumbers. Um, that we do not install full plumbing solutions into homes and businesses. I want to generate some ideas and concepts around what my business can offer to our clients. Okay. So let's just remove that last part potentially. Let's just let it go for now and we'll see what it comes up with. Okay. And this is the key when you're actually using this sort of method with prompting. It's not an exact science. It's about asking the right questions and putting as much information as you feel is important at the time to get a good output. Okay, so let's hit go on this and see what comes back. Now, GPT-4 is very quick. It's going to be very, very fast in giving that information back. Now, let me run through this and show you what we're looking at here. Okay, so when we start looking at personas, what we're actually doing is creating the ideal client that would use your services and feel like that it's the right product or service offering or the pain point that they have. Okay, so this is really cool. So what this has done is really personalize this information. So if we have a look at this, we've got a variety of different clients to look at. So this is a home owner persona, Tom and Susan Jackson, demographics, 45 to 50 years old, occupation, works as an insurance agent, and Susan's a stay-at-home parent. Their income is about 100,000 combined in the household. They're in suburban Florida. They've got two children, both teenagers, and it's a single family house. Okay. Now, when we start looking at their pain points, experiencing frequently yard flooding during the rainy seasons. And because we put in that we're in Florida, it actually picks up on the fact that, the rainy seasons is a problem for Florida. So it's going to use that as part of this persona, which is fantastic. That's what you want to try and do. You want to put in as much information as you can, because if you put generic information, it may not be as accurate, okay? And it may not be as tailored and suited. Their current drainage system is old and inefficient. Concerned with property damage from standing water and mold growth. Okay? How could Southwest Drainage Solutions help? Well, block drainage removal and ditch digging to improve water flow, offering an affordable drainage maintenance plan to prevent future issues, and basic excavation to improve yard grading for better runoff. Okay, and what we've got here, what's this messaging we've got? Okay, so this is a message you could use in some outreach to them potentially. Protect your home from costly water damage with our expert drainage solutions. We'll handle all the dirty work so you can enjoy a flood-free yard all year long. So it's great. So it's giving you an idea on how you could reach out and talk to them and start that conversation as well. Second persona we've got here is a commercial property manager called David Miller. Demographics, again, we've got age, occupation, income. You can read that as well as I can. Okay. And his responsibility is managing the drainage, landscaping, and building maintenance for several properties. Pain points. Frequent complaints from tenants about standing water in parking lots after heavy rain. Drainage system regularly gets blocked by debris, causing backups, and needs reliable contractors for quick fixes and routine maintenance without interruption in business solution operations. So, steps in Southwest Drainage. How can that our services help? Well, we've got regular drainage maintenance to prevent blockage and backups, and rapid response for emergencies with minor excavation to fix drainage issues, and customized solutions for long-term prevention, like proper ditch systems for runoff management. Okay. Again, we get a message: keep your properties flood-free with our reliable drainage services, from emergency fixes to routine maintenance. We've got you covered. Fantastic. So we go on again. We're talking about a small business this time. Their pain points are struggling with water pooling in her garden after rains, causing safety hazards and damage for property, and needs an affordable drainage solution to protect her inventory and ensure customer safety. So again, we've got some solutions here. Another nice slogan that you can get the conversation started with, or a message. Then we come into the real estate developer persona. This is a bigger project, obviously. So we start talking about a pain point of needs to install efficient drainage in a new development to comply with environmental regulations, struggling to find contractors, understand the large-scale projects, and work within the deadlines. And then we start talking about that. So let's say, for example, that all four of these personas were great. You thought they were incredible. They really talk to the type of customers you want. Well, you've got a choice at this point on what we do next. If they weren't great, you would tell it which ones weren't great or where it was inaccurate with information that it provided, and ask it to reassess and create an updated version of the personas. We're going to assume this is all accurate and correct at this point. So what we want to do now is we want to ask it for some questions, or some methods that we can move forward with to start building out something that's usable. Because this is great to know, but all we're doing at the moment is exploring who our clients, and making sure that the system understands, ChatGPT understands who our clients really are. So at this point, I'm going to ask it, I would like to create some talking points around our business that really engage our client personas above. All right, so what we're doing is we're taking the next step on the information we want. So what we want to do is we're just going to create some talking points. Now, I like to start with talking points because talking points are incredibly helpful for creating article content, social content, as well as communicating with the clients, creating email content, and all that other sort of wonderful stuff that you can do from there. So if we start here, so they're going to create one for each of these. So we now have some talking points in relation to homeowner persona, Florida's unpredictable weather, etc., etc. That's great. Affordable, and stay ahead. All right, so we've got some talking points in relation if we were going to come and talk to these clients. All right, then we've got some general talking points for all personas here as well. So this is where we can come in and we can start talking about our benefits to any one of these personas, okay? So these are great. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to ask it now I want to create an email introducing our business to each of the personas, but keep it general so that I can reuse with new clients in the future. So what we're doing, so it doesn't make it too personal. So the reason we do that is, like, take for example here, if we come in and say the first one, it's going to do Tom and Susan Jackson. We want to make sure it's an impersonal email, but still solves their problems. So here we go. Hey, let's find you well. My name is Chris. I'm reaching out on behalf of Southwest Blah, based here in Florida. We specialize in expert training, etc. From yep. So some of the services we talk about, whether you're a homeowner or okay. So we're talking about all of these in general, which is fantastic. Okay. Now what it's doing is it's going to also give us a breakdown underneath here as to what we're actually really trying to achieve at this point, and what does that mean to you, so that you're in flexible introduction, emphasis on tailored solutions, and highlighting services and a call to action. That's fantastic. All right, so let's say we take that email, and now what I want to do is I want to create a series of, say, 3 to 5 emails to nurture this particular potential lead in the future, or a prospect, okay? Because this is your first touch. All right, I want to generate 5 emails that will follow this email and nurture the prospect. Can you create these emails so that they are engaging and speak to the reader, or rather prospect, about their pain points and our solutions? Even if you got typos, like you saw there, I had their spelled incorrectly, it doesn't really matter. It'll figure it out. It's pretty smart in that sense. So the second email that comes through, we've got here addressing immediate concerns, flooding and drainage issues. Okay, so stop water damage before it starts. Here's how we can help. So that's your subject line you can use during your email. We're talking exactly about what we're trying to do. The third email comes through is, why wait for a problem? Prevent future drainage issues today. Again, we start talking about some of the solutions we can offer. And then we start talking about customized drainage solutions for your property. So it's a little bit more of a specialized at this point. And we start getting that information. And then don't take our word for it. Hear from what our clients have to say. So take some customer client information. So in this one, they've used Tom and Susan, for example. Now, if you've got client information, you'd obviously replace that with your client reviews and information in order to do this. You'd edit this, you'd adjust this to make it feel more like you as well. Don't let drainage issues linger. Book now to secure your spot. And what you'll see here is there's a consistent thing that happens. It gives you the layout, gives you a subject. It tells you a little bit about what it's actually going to do. So this is the urgency and the offer. This is where you're going to be offering a free assessment potentially. If you don't do a free assessment, put in whatever you offer, obviously. And we're talking about getting get you on the calendar and book a consultation. We're talking, again, it's really talking about the unpredictable weather in Florida, talking about how drainage issues can happen fast, and fixing them is preventing the issue in the future. So this is all great. Okay, so now I've got my email campaign that I'm going to do. I might send that out once a week to an email list that I've had inquiries from, or any new person that comes through. This will be the email list I build out on some sort of automation platform that I might have. But we'll cover that in another time. So now what I want to do is I wanted to also do a corresponding social media campaign. So I want to reach out on Facebook or LinkedIn or whatever platform I'm using to just share something that's relevant to the above. So let's ask it to come up with a concept around that for us as well. I need to have a matching campaign for my social media channels. I am using Facebook, LinkedIn, and Twitter. Can you create me a month's worth of captions that include a hook, rehook, and CTA. So call to action, if you're not sure what a CTA is, include hashtags, and I want to post twice a week. Okay, so I'm giving it lots of information here. So what I've just done is I've effectively told it that what I want to do is I want to post on 3 different social media platforms. Now, because I'm picking 3 different social media platforms, what's going to happen is it's going to instantly pick up on the fact that Twitter has a character limit. So it's going to create these a little bit shorter than what you would normally expect for a caption. And that's intentional. The only other way you could do that is word this to say, I want a separate caption for each of these, and it can generate one for each of those for you. Okay, now a hook and a rehook. Now, a hook is a technique that I like to use. It's where you ask a question or make a statement, and then you leave a space in between that first statement, and you give it the second, which is an additional statement or another hook that's going to get them interested. So in this case, we can see the first one is your property at risk of flooding due to block drains? Now, that's designed to generate a little bit of concern. The second line is drainage issues left untreated can lead to serious damage. Protect your home with a simple fix. So we're telling it, we're reinstating the original issue, and then we're giving them a hint that there's a solution here. Okay. And then we give them the call to action and some relevant hashtags here. Now, what we can see here is in the initial description of what it's generated is there's a month's worth of social media captions, 8 posts in total, because we told it 2 per week. So what it's done is it's just figured out how many it needs to do. It's laid out and it's repeated what we've said. And it said that it wants it to engage users on these, and we've included the hashtags. All right, so and it's also labeled it really nicely. Now, this is really cool because we can copy paste this and send it to a virtual assistant. We can send it to anyone in our team to actually generate this, or we can just put it into a Google Doc or a Word doc and work our way through it and plan this out for, the next month that's coming up to come up with this. Okay, so in this case, we've got all these great questions that are coming through. Preventative maintenance is a topic here. It's custom drainage solutions here. It's testimonials here. Excavation services, commercial drainage, emergency drainage, free drainage assessment. So it's come up with some great things, okay? So on the bottom one, we've got another hook style solution here is unsure if your property's drainage system is up to the task. Get peace of mind with a free assessment. That's going to generally get someone to take action at that point, right? Now, what you can do now too is we can say, I would like to generate an image for the first post. Now, my recommendation with images, if you're a service-based industry or you're a business that has its own photos and can show the actual work you're doing, I would use your own images. I wouldn't generate with AI because AI just looks too impersonal at that point. But if you're a service provider that offers like managed services for IT, for example, you might want to use some, and you're offering cybersecurity. That's when you'd use images generated by AI because there's no real images you can share of your own that can actually tell that story as well. So if we look here, this is the image it's created. You can clearly see that that's some sort of blocked walkway. I don't know about this hose, but hey, you know what? This guy here looks like he's here to fix the problem. That's really cool. You may want to edit that, adjust it, whatever you might do, okay? But anyways, it's kind of got the concept from it. But all of this is generated from the original prompt, excuse me, which we started with, which if we scroll all the way back up to the top was this. All right, we gave it an indication of who we are, what we do, where we're located, what we're called, some of the things we do, and we wanted to create a persona for a client so we understood what we wanted to do. So we've worked our way down through all this information to get to this point. Now I'm going to leave it with one final thing at this point, and that's going to be article writing content. Now, at this point, most people are going to come out and say, we want to create articles and we should be posting at least one article a month, okay? I totally agree that one article a month is okay, but I think you could do one article a week if you've got a process like this. So let me show you how I would do this. Now I need to create an article each week for the next month that is on topic to what we have been talking about above. So you'll notice the language I use is very similar to the language that I would expect you would talk to somebody and you'd have that conversation with somebody that you're asking to do the work. So whether it's an outsourced agency, whether that would be a virtual assistant, whether that be an employee, this is a sort of communication. Like there's nothing special here with now I need to create an article each week for the next month that is on topic to what we have been talking about above. I mean, that's pretty straightforward language. There's nothing too crazy there, okay? Now, what it's going to do in this situation is because there's 4 articles, with GPT-4, it can only process one of these things at a time very effectively, is what I found. So what you can do is this. It'll give you a general outline of what to talk about and make sure that you're okay with what we're talking about here and how that works, etc. Okay? So let's go through and go, yep, I like that. Second one looks good too. All right, third one looks great. And the fourth one, yeah, I can work with that too. Okay, great. So this has got a nice little topic. The benefits of professional excavation versus DIY attempts. Perfect. All right, and it's giving me some general information at the end, use some case studies, SEO optimization. Totally appreciate it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this and SEO optimization, I'm going to copy that because that's important. That's a big reason why we're going to be doing this. I want to write the full article for the first outline and be sure to include all the suggested tips. So we're going to make sure it gives us those SEO optimization tips that it suggested here, okay? So what we're going to do is we're going to click go, and we're going to let it write that now. So what's going to happen is it's going to write that, and it's going to do it in a very, standard sort of impersonal sort of way. But it's going to write out, it's going to look okay? And what it's going to do, it's going to go through and talk about how we can help and all that sort of thing. So that's okay. I mean, most people would stop at this point, right? And they'd be like, I can live with that. That's not a problem. I'm going to change it up a little bit. Now rewrite this article, and this time I want to write it from my personal point of view as Chris, the owner of the business with over 25 years of experience and a Florida local. So what we've done is we're just going to give it a little bit more of a suggestion on how we want to handle that. Okay. So here we go. So what we can see now is we've now got a title that talks about our experience, 25 years of experience. Hi, I'm Chris, the owner of Southwest Drainage Solutions. I've lived in Florida all my life, and for over 25 years, I've worked in the drainage industry. So what we've done is we've just built up a whole bunch of trust in that first paragraph there, okay? After years of seeing damage caused by neglected drain systems, I can tell you that blocked drains aren't just a minor inconvenience, they're a ticking time bomb for your property. And if there's one thing I've learned from my decades of experience, it's that Florida's unique weather makes a landscape proper drainage absolutely essential. So, this statement really should get people interested. All right. Then we got comments like, from someone who's seen it all. So it personalizes this information a bit more, okay? Improper. Unfortunately, I've also seen a fair share of properties with drainage systems that weren't installed correctly in the beginning. So it talks of my experience again. So you can see I'm not a drainage expert, you know, so I can't tell you if everything here generated is accurate. But the idea behind this is if you are a drainage expert, you should be able to see this and read this and understand if this is accurate or not. And if there is something in here which is not accurate, that's where you just tell the system that this is not accurate. Can you update this? And that could be something as simple as like highlighting a section, copying it, pasting it back here in the message, and say, hey, this is not accurate. It should say something more like this, and then paste and then go. Okay. And it'll rewrite that section for you. Now, in this situation, I'm actually quite happy with the output. Now, if I'm happy with that, and let's say I've already generated the outline for the other three, what would you think I should do next? Normally, you go and copy paste what's up there and say, let's go and do that again. I'm not going to do that. Instead, what I'm going to do is this. I'm just simply going to type in now write one for the second article outline. So I'm going to tell it to go back and look for itself because I don't want to go back and look for it. And because I've already given it extra information, it already knows to put in things like, I'm a Florida local with 25 years of experience. So it's going to keep that system, the system already understands what I've already spoken about, and it's going to keep that information in there, and it's going to maintain that for me. And it's going to carry that through and continue to talk about that as we go through, okay? When I talk to property owners about preventative maintenance, most of them aren't even sure what's involved. So really, it's making that more personal. It's making it more hands-on. And for small business owners, this is perfect because this gives you that real hands-on. Looks like you've actually taken the time to write this yourself and put some effort in. Now, let's go in here and now for the third. Again, all I'm saying is going to the third. I'm not even typing in go to the third article and that we'd already created. I'm literally just, because I'm doing the same thing again, I'm just giving it a very short prompt, say, now to the third. All right. And now it's writing this third one out. Same thing. It's doing personalized services. It's talking about, some examples of our services that we offer. Same thing as what the outline was telling it to do. Fantastic. And here we go. So what it's doing here is, I love this little recap on the end. This is fantastic. So keywords used, it's given us the keywords that are being used. That's really helpful to pass on to your SEO company if they, want you to write about particular topics or something, or if you're trying to do your own SEO, you can really tailor down and focus on that. Local relevance, we're emphasizing on the unique challenges of Florida's environment and your 25 years of experience in the state. We highlighted on the service the tailored drainage solution, property assessments, and professional installation. Okay, now the fourth. All right, so I'm going to do the fourth article here. So this is fantastic. Now we're talking about excavation, And what we've done is we've created 4 articles that talk about the topics that we've been discussing about, that we're going to put on social media, that we're going to be doing some email campaigns about. So we've created an entire marketing strategy in less than 30 minutes that we can implement and go to market with and start showing some content and being relevant. And it's all done very, very quickly, very, very easily, and very personable. It's not something that's going to be, impersonal and generic. It's quite accurate. You don't have to go and replace words in the content generated with your business name, which is very common in a lot of articles that get written. Is they're not written in with your business name in mind. They're written just in generic format. So that's the purpose of what I wanted to talk about today. Now, we could take this a whole bunch further, but we're not going to go any further today. I want you guys just to take in what we've talked about today and give this a try. Start generating. And like I said, start with the persona. If we go back to the top here, you can see there's a lot of content we generated today there. Just start with something simple. Talk about what you do. Talk about what you want. Um, let's say, for example, like you get with the articles, you could do one more step and you could start talking about, I love these articles, but I want to talk about a time that this situation occurred. Let me tell you about it. And tell it a little about the situation. And then let it go and generate the article for you. Because that'll help get you see even more relevant content that's more personal and about a real situation that's occurred. Well, anyways, thanks for being with me today. I love the fact that you're showing some interest in how to personalize your ChatGPT experience. Like I said, this does require a paid version to do the images and some of the stuff that I'm doing because the memory's a little bit better in there. I'm using ChatGPT 4, and I would recommend getting a paid version if you haven't got one. But if you don't have a paid version, give it a try. Maybe you can still generate a bunch of this. Maybe you will find some limitations on the mini version of GPT-4, but which is offered by free accounts. But I mean, if you do find that's the case, then yeah, now you've got a use case as to why you might see the value in going to the $20 a month pro plan instead. Until next time, enjoy your AI journey, and I hope you get a little bit more out of using ChatGPT. Thanks.